Video has surfaced of Jonathan Majors on that night walking right past Stephanie. As she reaches out, he raises his hand as if he's avoiding her and is frightened of what she may continue to do with him. This was evidence that was hidden within that 2 terabytes of discovery that they tried to sneak in there, and hopefully that the defense team wouldn't realize that it's actually there. It's going to make them look bad. It was found, and now it's out in the public thanks to the defense attorney Priya Chaudhry. Say what you want to say about her. Laura Italiano is the author of this article. You're watching my favorite YouTube channel, Chillmonger. Since the beginning of this Jonathan Majors case, I've been providing coverage, and you can see me evolve from, I don't know if he did it, what if he did do it, if he did do it, what if he only did this, and now it's just a straight up, how is this still going to court? If you were not up to speed, March 25, this guy gets arrested, and TMZ reveals that news. He says, I'm completely innocent, don't worry, there's a lot of evidence, and the world didn't want to take him at his word. Since then, it's come out, Jonathan was the one who dialed 911 himself. Since then, there's also been a video of her at the club as she's supposedly supposed to be injured. There's a chauffeur inside the car who drove them, who's going to be a witness on Jonathan's side, saying, no, wasn't actually hurt. There's actually this video evidence, which I just showed you to start this video. And there's more. They say there's even more video evidence on the streets. Jonathan Majors didn't do anything on that night to her to make her incapacitated, and we've known this for months actually, because we've seen her without any scars behind the ear, as we see her using her fingers very comfortably in this video. There's no issues with Stephanie. Her name is Stephanie because Chris Jericho calls Stephanie a brutal, bottom-feeding trash bag hoe, and I couldn't find a better fitting name for her. I don't use her real name to illustrate to you, viewers, just how irrelevant it is. This is not a he versus she. This isn't a one person versus another. This is a whole system of people, including, if we go to the district attorney, this is a system that includes the judge, the multiple judges, whoever was there at the arraignment who decided this should take trial. Whoever was the cops, there were 6 of them who decided, according to Jonathan Majors, the police body camera, when it's revealed, will show you cops were saying, hey, say that he choked you, and then we can get, and that's where the strangulation charge came out of. Remember that one? Yeah, that's been dropped, by the way, probably because she actually sends a text message saying that you didn't strangle me, and that's come out, and probably also because the police body camera is going to reveal that. No problem. Speaking of the police, let me get back to that in a second. I was listing off the system. It's not just about the woman. It's also including the judge, the police, the district attorney, the 911 operator who, when he says, hey, I need help, this woman needs help, she's been sending me suicidal texts, and all of a sudden now there's drugs here that are for sleeping, and then there's alcohol there, and she was half naked inside of my closet, which, by the way, Jonathan has a witness because he gets the maintenance man to also come in and help and open up that door, which she locked herself into the closet of his home, and you see that, and apparently she goes, oh, what happened to my finger, during that police body camera footage. It's also including not just the 911 operator, but this guy here on the side of the road.
Okay, then you have to put that on him. That's his fault.
Put that on him? You see how all these people are on code with members of the media, including the Rolling Stone article written by this person of colorless here. Look, you see this woman right here? This woman named Cheyenne Roundtree, and she co-authored an article talking about these anonymous 40 people who said back in high school that Jonathan Majors is just a mean guy, and using what I would deem and what you sensible people watching this video would be like, oh, those are some dog whistling terms. He was intimidating, really? That this guy just was a mean all over, he had a bad attitude and this and that. And speaking of people of colorless, this is Alvin Bragg, the district attorney of Manhattan. Unfortunately, it looks like he's black. He's just a suntan that's happening. There's no way a person that looks like that right there can look at this case and say, Jonathan Majors did it. I'm going to prosecute this man. Let me see that police body cam footage. Yeah, there's the evidence right there. Oh, let me see this. No, we're going to hide that evidence. We're going to hope that they don't find that evidence of him on the streets walking past building. There's a lot of street corner video that's going to be revealed. Lawyers for star Jonathan Majors have sent the judge new video they say that show his ex-girlfriend unharmed just 8 minutes after they allegedly hit her. 8 minutes. The sidewalk security camera video obtained by Insider and described as significant by Majors' legal team offers the clearest images yet of the accuser Stephanie McMahon soon after she and the Kang actor fought on a Chinatown street corner back in March. Did they have to go to the Kang actor? Can we not do that? Let me take that Kang actor and flip it and reverse it. Look, this man is on a meteoric rise, unlike one that we have seen before. He's gonna get the highest praise that you can possibly get in the history of cinema, in the history of film. I mean that. There's gonna be a movie titled Avengers. The second word of that is Kang Dynasty. The name of his character is Kang. He's not Thanos, where it's all CGI'd. No one really knows Josh Brolin. There's an Avengers movie named after him. His skin tone's dark, and he's at a young age, 33 when it happened, 34 now. And at the age of 34, Jay is going to be playing a lot of dads, a lot of fatherly figures, and a lot more positive role models. A lot of originally will forever be a black character, unlike Kang the Conqueror, which I don't really support. I have a video talking about that, but that's really got nothing to do with this case. The elevation that this actor is going to gain from this is going to take him into a stratosphere to promote way more positivity that people like Alvin Bragg should probably, and Cheyenne Roundtree should probably realize, and then kind of kick themselves in the foot, kick themselves in their own head, not realizing the amount of benefit racially worldwide. You know, Hollywood is a very global, influential place. A lot of positive things that they're nixing, or at least they're trying to damage. The truth shall come free. The truth shall come out and set you free. Jonathan Majors, innocent man. Back to the article. Says no such injury is evident in the new video, which captured her conversation with a trio of strangers outside of the Soho luxury condo building. We have it 8 minutes after, and then we have it hours after in the club. She's uninjured. Don't tell me adrenaline. She's uninjured. She's coming up to him, and he's saying, get out of here. The video is a key exhibit in the defense lawyer's latest effort to get the career-threatening misdemeanor case thrown out of court. This time on the argument that prosecutors allegedly hid evidence that helps clear the Disney actor. If you have your skeptical doubts about this lawyer, whether the attorney Priya Chaudhry is good or not, I feel that if they win this, that they were trying to hide the evidence. If the judge admits that and says, fine, we're going to dismiss it, now when they take the district attorney to court with a brand new judge and a brand new everything, they get to say, hey, by the way, when we went to the police officers a couple months later and we showed how Jonathan was actually scratched and hurt, there's a video of Jonathan trying to leave the car and she's all pulling him, trying to get him back inside. When we show that video to the police and the police change their mind and they say we need to arrest her. And then they also show that, well, the judge during the case said, yeah, we got to drop it because the district attorney's got nothing. He was trying to hide it into all this discovery, right? So when you combine those two things, and now you're trying to charge the district attorney, whether that's Alvin Bragg or Kelly Galloway, who's the assistant DA, you have two parts of the same system that you weaponized against Jonathan. You got two of them turning their backs on you. Why? Because they gotta maintain credibility. I don't know why the cops actually did say, yeah, you know what, we're gonna arrest this woman. I say that because I'm not a fan of the police, but you know what, man, darn tootin', those police officers did the right thing at the precincts. Both of the precincts, the one in the Chelsea neighborhood where they live, and then the one in the Manhattan neighborhood where Jonathan was getting driven. Both of those precincts decided we're going to arrest this woman and she's got probable cause. And then here comes the DA, deactivates the incident card. I don't know if she ran out the country right after that to get her out, but she hasn't been able to return. She hasn't done yet. And if she comes to court, she'll be in orange. The district attorney is cooked. If the judge goes, yeah, they did try to hide this in the 2 terabytes of discovery, that is fishy. And we'll see what happens. And if not, maybe we go after the judge for not being a good judge. But I do like what Priya Chaudhry is cooking now. Posting that little text message where she says, no, I wasn't being strangled. People, they put their thinking caps on. The same conspiracy theorist hat that I'm putting on right now when I'm looking at the system. They put that on and they said, I'm looking at Jonathan, and that's because an abuse victim sounds like this. Hey, I respect everyone's right to an opinion. I'll never discourage theorizing and opening your mind and seeing what's behind that's not there. So I don't hate you or anything. I don't even think that I won't even say, I'm going to say it now, but I'm not thinking it. I don't accuse you and anyone who thinks that way of being some sort of internally I hate this man because of the way he looks, and therefore I'll come to a conclusion that satisfies my belief. I don't think that about you if you did come to that conclusion way back on March 31st when those texts came out that week, right? That's fine. That's totally fine. No beef here. But now, you gotta smarten up. You can't be like some YouTubers who looked at 2 terabytes of video. Do you know what that means? Look what was inside the video, in the 2 terabytes. Look what was inside, hidden inside there. And then maybe the next building over has another clear video with audio. Maybe there's more and more and more. What was hidden inside that 2 terabytes of high quality footage? Think about that. It's not too late. It's never going to be too late for you to say Jonathan Majors is innocent. Don't wait for them to drop the charges. Don't rely on a jury of skewed people who may be on code with that man in the white hat from the video and who may want to be a hindrance to this case. You don't have to rely on a jury. A jury decided that George Zimmerman was guilty. Well, I heard a clear 911 audio. Hey, are you chasing that boy? Yes, I am chasing him. Okay, stop chasing him. He continued to chase him, and he killed him. And he said, I stood my ground, I heard you being told not to do it. And he continued. You know what? That George Zimmerman guy, he got off, and he won his case. Does that mean the jury is correct? No, we don't. I don't. Chillmonger, this guy, this YouTuber here, and you can thumbs up or you can thumbs down. Jury means nothing to me. The jury is people with opinions. I saw the evidence, and I saw all the evidence that I needed. There's nothing that a prosecution side can show me to disprove an uninjured woman 8 minutes after, and then the uninjured woman later. There's nothing that the prosecution can do to unprove that the chauffeur is a witness on Jonathan Majors' side. Think smart, everybody. And then watch where you get your information from. Rolling Stones is not that information source. Rather than flagging the video, as state evidence law requires, prosecutors sat on this video for almost 4 months and then buried it in over 2 terabytes of discovery, turned over only last month. Defense lawyer Priya Chaudhry said in her request that the case be thrown out. She, Stephanie, can be heard in March 25 video telling the 3 strangers that she is Major's girlfriend. No way, one of the men responds. I guess I know who that one was. And that she'd left her phone and purse in their car after they fought and the actor ran off. I heard that part of the video.
You're going to get where you need to be.
He ran, and it was like his
If he-
way, so he was not like
Mrs. Stephanie McMahon was not only completely unharmed, but was describing what had just happened by repeatedly insisting that Mr. Majors had texts from another woman on his phone and making no reference to suffering physical violence of any sort. That's a good point. She never says, he hit me. Don't you think that's what you would say when you're trying to make a guy look bad? Oh my God, this dude, and can you believe it? She would have came up, wouldn't it, huh? It would have came up. I think it would have came up. Don't give me none of that, oh, she was afraid. And then Jonathan makes a cameo appearance at the end of the clip as the trio offers Stephanie some cab money. It's a non-speaking cameo. Megan Good's boyfriend, who himself is looking for the driver, says nothing as he walks past the group on the sidewalk, ignoring her as she asks, "Where's my bag? It was in the car," she says to him. First of all, do you see the way that man just walked by her and the just utter disinterest in her? I bet all those people who went to school with Jonathan are like, that's what we're talking about. That right there. That's the way he acts. I respect this guy so much. After going through all of this, watching it and going, what a victim. What a victim. I can't wait to see Magazine Dreams twice. I'm going to bring a girl named Stephanie with me. If she can be from England, that'll be a plus. And if she's not, that's okay. There will be a Stephanie at that screening. Before parting ways for the night, Stephanie and Majors would fight for another 5 minutes. Ooh. Though always in the presence of security cameras and eyewitnesses, including the 3 strangers and the driver, says the defense. What a phenomenal turn of events. Everything is covered. At no point in these final 5 minutes did Majors strike her. Chaudhry says the prosecution evidence shows. So why call it a fight? I don't like it, but I guess it is a fight. Is it a dispute? Whatever. Instead, the video shows Stephanie McMahon wildly grabbing and clawing at him. You don't say. Ripping off his coat buttons and tearing his coat pockets in the process. You know what they call that? Evidence. Leaving the actor with scratches on his arm and face, the lawyer says in his papers, they're going to throw out this case. They don't have the witness who's going to show up in court, and they have all that evidence that they can use against. Stephanie's down. Stephanie is down for the count. The DA is next. Tomorrow is the day. She then left with the three strangers for 2 hours at Lucy's nightclub. Why do we know she was at Lucy's nightclub? Because she was using Jay's credit card the entire night. Dummy. She could have lied. If we didn't have that, she could have said, "Oh, I was off, when I was found half naked upstairs. It was because they removed my clothing, they did. It was a hard time. I'm absolutely parched. Give me some liquids to refuel me. I am now hydrated and I can lie. I can lie in court. Lie with no consequence. For I am the innocent. I am the unbroken. I am the not guilty. How dare you arrest me? I do not look good in orange. I look good in red. And you will be red as the wedding that could have been, Jonathan. Pish posh. Sodding numpty. In the lower levels of Moxie Hotel on the Bowery in Lower Manhattan, additional video newly filed by Jonathan Majors' lawyer singles out one moment showing that Stephanie being led and twirled ballroom dance style, supposedly broken finger. Let's look at this video again. I don't know, it's kind of hard to make out. It's kind of pixelated, but we don't need this. We're good with what we have. The prosecutors failed to flag still more evidence favorable to Jonathan Majors. The lawyer alleges, including statements made by the driver who witnesses the couple's midnight fight as over the course of 20 minutes. Are you fucking kidding me? Statements from the driver has been hidden? You're not going to flag this evidence and be like, oh, look over here, this is key? It sounds pretty corrupt if you ask me. It repeatedly spilled in and out of his hired car onto the streets of Chinatown and Soho. The driver told the prosecutors that Stephanie was the obvious aggressor in the altercation with Mr. Majors, and went so far as to characterize her as Psycho Girl. In speaking with prosecutors, Chaudhry says in her 23-page motion to dismiss the case, that's part of the case. It's in there. He said those words. The driver did. Jonathan has a witness. Jonathan has a witness as it allegedly happened. Jonathan has a camera 8 minutes after it happened, all night at the club dancing while it happened. Uninjured finger, ear is fine. That strangulation, which was the headline, was pulled from the DA's charges. She pulled her charges. It's not her. It's a systemic issue. It's a false narrative, and you have to do a better job of reporting on it. I'm talking to YouTubers. And you, as the fans, or the civilians, as the casuals who don't have channels or outlets to media, you guys just have Twitter accounts. Why don't you retweet the good news? Why don't you spread the innocent? Spread the dropped charges, which is going to be a big headline coming out pretty soon. Share that like they shared all of theirs. Undo the damage. Thumbs up YouTube videos which speak positively on Jonathan Majors and speak positively, speak truthfully about Jonathan Majors. Prosecutors also waited until a month ago to interview the Bellevue Hospital ER physician. Is that not shady? You mean to tell me if she was really injured, they would have waited up until a month ago? Early the next afternoon, treating her broken finger and cut ear, Chaudhry said in her filing. Majors contends that she had sustained those injuries not while fighting with him, but in a drunken fall after returning alone to the 3-story penthouse apartment, which those racist-ass cops were like, 3 stories, huh? Who is this guy? Is he a Met, a Jet, or a Net? Because I don't think he plays for the Islanders or the Rangers or the Devils. Those are hockey teams. The physician, Dr. Williams K. Chiang, supports that scenario. He told the prosecutors that a fracture like the one that Stephanie sustained on her finger is commonly found in patients who had direct trauma, usually found from hitting an object or from falling. The physician that attended Stephanie said this is common from making direct trauma to yourself, not from some other guy doing it to you. Well, that's crazy. That's not crazy. Are you surprised at this point? Prosecutors allege Majors broke her finger while trying to pry his cell phone, but when asked if the fracture was consistent with pulling, grabbing, or twisting a hand or finger, the doctor said it was medically possible but uncommon. Medically possible, uncommon. All right, guys? You guys want to fight doctors too? Or you want to come on the side of, oh, okay. Or you want to be on the, no, hold on just a minute. Oh, the prosecution didn't give their evidence yet. The prosecutor told the defense lawyers in the email. In another key revelation from Majors' bid to have the case dismissed, the defense is alleging that the Manhattan prosecutors tried and failed. They failed to get the NYPD to drop the cross complaint that Majors filed. They are not letting up. Shout out to the police, man. What's the police song? Bad boy, what you gonna do? Police in two they actually have the pictures up here too. You can see the scars right there. It's a little fresh red. And these pictures came out on March 25, according to the inside the phone's data, taken by Jonathan Majors 2 hours after, he says, his domestic violence accuser, Stephanie, scratched his face. Police agreed in 2 precincts there is probable cause for arresting her for allegedly slapping and scratching Majors on the street, then running up his credit card, stealing valuables from his penthouse, forgot about that one, while he was under arrest. How did I forget about that? Yeah, she actually steals his stuff. Steals it, goes away, runs off to another country 5 days, and then we get everything back. What? That happened? It's amazing, because what people were talking about at the time was, look at the PR firm that dropped Jonathan, and he's not going to be on the baseball commercials and the army commercials. There's these movies that he's not going to be able to do anymore, and we were hearing so much noise like that. But prosecutors tried to convince a 10th precinct detective not to arrest her when she returns in the U.S. An effort the detective rebuffed. Shout out to the detective rebuffing. I bet he was... Who knows what he was like, or she was like. Chaudhry alleged in an August 21 letter to the case prosecutor. So it's evidence that's submitted, right? I don't question this. If Chaudhry alleges it and puts it in a letter, I'm going to believe it. Galloway, who is the prosecution's Alvin Bragg's minion, she says that is also part of the recent defense filings. The detective is still attempting to organize her surrender with her representatives. Chaudhry says in her filings, oh, really? Is that right? Still attempting to organize her surrender with her representative. Shout out to this detective. You know, not all cops are bad. I mean that. Gotta give them credit. And maybe they'll be like, oh, the YouTubers do say nice things to us when we do nice. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, we got some scratches on his hands. Ugh, I don't like that. It was jealousy that set Stephanie off, Chaudhry alleges in her filings. Yeah, whatever. Whipped up by the 6 alcoholic drinks she had consumed that night, she immediately flew into a savage rage. Yes, Jonathan and Stephanie were at the bar together on a regular night out prior to what happens right at midnight. In the car after seeing texts on Major's phone that she believed showed him to be unfaithful. Look at Chaudhry writing that now. That's not even a secret anymore. We just talk about it so openly. By 3:30, security video shows her arriving by taxi back at Jonathan Major's empty triplex penthouse, because Jonathan did not sleep in his penthouse. He went to a hotel. He had left at 1 a.m. to sleep at the Mark Hotel on the Upper East Side, the lawyer says. Smart. Lobby and elevator security footage indicates no apparent discomfort, marks, or bleeding. How you gonna dispute that, bro? She even enters unharmed. In the apartment, she attempted to call him no less than 32 times. Sent him imploring text messages begging for him to call, then switched angry and jealous text messages about his proposed infidelity. And then, when these tactics proved fruitless, she dropped the ultimate bomb and threatened suicide just before 8 a.m. At 8 a.m., she reached out to a friend in England, sending photos of her new injuries. Shut up. We have that, and confessing that she did not know how she hurt herself. The new filings reveals. Why is this going to court? Can we charge the DA? The DA needs to go to jail. What you're trying to do to Donald Trump. I'm not a Trump voter, by the way. What you're trying to do to Donald Trump should happen to you. And your entire office shouldn't exist. She also admitted she'd been really scrappy with Majors during their earlier fight. The new evidence cited by Chaudhry reveals. Shut up. At 9 a.m., Mr. Majors awoke to find his face stuck to the hotel pillow with dried blood from the large gash delivered to a red sticky spot from his face. You can imagine what that is. Ketchup. Concerned to see her... It's ketchup, YouTube, okay? Don't demonetize me. And if you're watching, watch an ad. Concerned to see her messages, Majors returned home to his penthouse at 10:30 a.m. What Majors found in his apartment spun his concern into complete panic: a deliberately placed sentimental photograph, a lit candle, intentionally stacked romantic items, a locked bedroom door, closed bedroom curtains, and no answer to his phone calls, calling her name, or loud knocks on the door. She should write a novel, bro, the way that sounded. Within seconds of a building, staff were forcing open the locked bedroom door. That's the handyman, the little maintenance man who had access, who could unlock doors. And then finding Stephanie unconscious and on the floor of the walk-in closet. Within seconds, Jay calls 911. And the first terrified words out of his mouth were attempted suicide. Previous defense filings have noted police found a spilled bottle of sleeping pills in the bedroom and vomit on the bed already, mom's spaghetti. Majors was arrested by white people who believed that the actor had caused her hand and head injuries. Majors, who faces up to a year in jail if convicted, he's fine, is scheduled to appear via video at his next court hearing. He doesn't have to come in person on Friday, during which a trial date may be set. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. Things look like they're on the up and up for Jonathan Majors' camp, and I'm happy for that. I'm happy for all the great representative roles he'll be doing outside of the Kang thing. Don't really support this one because Kang's a white character in comics. If you didn't know, he's white in the cartoons. He'll be white again. Check out some other videos covering this from YouTubers who are not people of colorless. Chillmonger out. Do 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 do.